The Rotary Youth Exchange Program gives students the opportunity to gain fluency in another language and experience a different culture. Local Rotary clubs sponsor students between the ages of 15 and 19 in more than 100 countries. The Rotary Club of Needham is currently looking for host families for a student coming from South Korea. Here's more on what it's like to host an exchange student, plus information on the Outbound program if you or someone you know would like to study abroad.
One of the tenets of Rotary is to foster world peace. And to foster that kind of understanding, we have exchange programs so people understand each other's cultures better.
We have an incoming student from South Korea. So we are getting a girl from South Korea. The high school has said yes, we would like to have her here starting in September. So we're working on pulling that all together. And as part of that, we need 3 different host families. So we break up the school year, September to June, in 3 parts. And the student will stay with 3 different families to experience 3 different perspectives on the culture here in Needham as well as the culture in the United States.
Host families are always an important part of a long-term exchange, even the short-term, because they need to be vetted by the State Department. We have to follow all those rules. But they open their homes and their culture to their visitors, their new members of the family. These families often become very close to the students and they maintain a long-term relationship. There are some host families that 15, 20 years later are still staying in touch with the students that they hosted.
That family will be really connected with the family in the other countries, in South Korea in this case, right? Because there'll be a lot of conversations back and forth, and a lot of times afterwards, after the exchange is over, the U.S. family might travel to there as a family and meet the other family there. So it opens up a lot of interesting cultural experiences for the family. The other piece to it is there are district-wide events for the students, the exchange students. So the family will be invited to go to these events like a cookout or whatever, and they'll meet other families that are hosting students and they'll meet those students. So it's a really interesting cultural experience for the family.
It doesn't matter whether you have children at home, whether you have your children are adults and have moved away, or you don't have young children. It doesn't matter as long as you're warm and welcoming, have a genuine interest in the student and their culture, and are willing to support them as they learn about us.
I think you humanize the world, right? When you see somebody that doesn't speak your language and that has slightly different styles than you, and yet they're still a person and they have a family and people love them and they're different and it's okay.
Americans are less likely to engage in going abroad than students in other parts of the world. So we have a lot of students coming in. We'd love to have more of our students going out so that they understand that the world is big, that there are many different ways of living that are successful and happy and productive and very interesting.
For the student that's traveling outbound, it is life-changing, really. I did it when I was in high school. I went to Germany for a month. It was incredible. I left there as a fluent German speaker. I had traveled around Germany a fair amount as part of the program, and learned really interesting things. And I really can't say enough about what it does for you personally and the growth that you go through in experiencing another country for a year. If we can find a student that wants to go somewhere else, we can add that into the program, but we do need to move fairly quickly on that because they're taking applications right now and the deadline is coming up. So if there is a student that would like to apply, there's a website, exchangestudent.org. There's information for outbound families. There's all sorts of expectation setting information there, frequently asked questions. There's all the application forms, but please first contact us so we know that you're interested so we can keep the door open on the application process.